Good morning, my dear students. In previous class, it means yesterday, we were discussed about different types of states of matter, in which solid state of matter, solid states of matter show a rigidity characteristic. They have a shape, they have a value, they have mass and negligible compressibility. Second, liquid states of matter. Liquids can also be termed as fluids because they have capacity or characteristics of water flow. That's why they are known as fluids. Liquids can take the shape of the container. For best example, we pour water in a glass, take the shape of the glass. Afterwards, we pour it in a tumbler, it takes the shape of a tumbler. Afterwards, we pour it in a mug, it takes the shape of the mug. That's why liquids can take the shape of the container. Second, they have mass, value, occupy space and slightly compressible. Third state of matter is gaseous states of matter. Gaseous does not have shape because the molecules of particles are freely arranged, does not have mass, and they are termed as what? Highly compressible. Yes, before that we discussed change of state of matter. It means in which terms are involved in the change of state of matter. First one is fusion or melting point. Second, boiling point. Third one, sublimation. Fourth one, vaporization. Fifth one, freezing point. And sixth one, condensation. Yes, my dear students, in today's class, let us see effects of change of temperature. Yes. Effects of change of temperature. When a solid is heated, the kinetic energy of its particle increases. Due to increasing kinetic energy, the particle starts vibrating with greater speed. Yes, in an yesterday period we were discussed water. When the heating process takes place in a solid states of matter, what happens? Their kinetic energy of a particle is increased. Due to increased kinetic energy, what happens? The particles starts vibrate. The energy supplied by the heat overcomes the forces of attraction between the particles. Yes, my dear students, when we apply water force as well as we supply energy, which energy? Temperature is provided at the time it overcome. It means particles are overcome because of force of attraction of a particle. Two different types of a particle. The particle leaves their position and starts moving more freely at a certain stage. It means in a melting point, solid melts and is converted into liquid state. When we apply a more energy at the time, solid get changed their state. It means converted into liquid state of matter. At certain temperature, a point is reached when the particle have enough energy to be break free from the force of attraction of each other. At this temperature, the liquid start changing into gas. In contrast, by decreasing the temperature, it means the process of cooling, gas can be converted into liquid state and liquid can be converted into gaseous state. Yes, my dear students, it totally converted or totally comes to a conclusion, that is nothing but what? Interconversion of change of states of matter. What happens? We give a temperature in a solid state of matter, it converts water liquid. Why? Because the particles of matter move freely. Why? Increasing temperature. So the same process takes place where in a liquid state of matter. What happens? Liquid can start to boil. Why? We provide a more temperature. At the time converted into liquid is converted into gaseous state. It means water is converted into water vapor stage. Yes. After cooling, gas is converted, reversible action. Gas is converted as a liquid. Afterwards, the process of cooling is continuous. What happened? It converted as a solid state of matter. Yes. Observe here. Solid, liquid and gas. Yes, I think in our first period we all are already discussed. Example, ice. Yes, converted as a water mixing and liquid. Afterwards, it is converted as a water vapor. Yes, the process of heat, the process of heating, the process of water heating converted as water gas. On cooling, gas is converted into liquid. Same. The process of cooling is takes place at the time water is converted into ice. Means totally reversible action. How it is takes place? Takes place with the help of effect of change of temperature. Yes, a more energy is given to a solid state of matter. What happens? The kinetic energy is increased, as well as the process of vibrating is takes place where in particles of a solid they are converted into liquid state of matter. Yes, here the process of heating is given here, heat energy is given and temperature is increased. What happens? Water starts to boil, converted as a water vapor. Yes, good people are stopped. Water giving heat process. At the time the process of condensation or cooling is takes place, gas is converted into water. After condensation, water is converted as a ice. This takes place with the help of water. Effect of change of temperature. Yes. Next one is next discussion is scales of measuring temperature. Scales of measuring temperature. Which types of scales are used to measure temperature? Here first one is temperature on Kelvin scale. Temperature on Kelvin scale. Observe it carefully. Temperature on Kelvin scale. Okay, how to calculate temperature on Kelvin scale? Yes, here it is equal to temperature on Celsius scale plus 273 Kelvin. Yes, 273 Kelvin. Take an example. 0 degree Celsius plus 273 Kelvin. It is equal to 273 Kelvin. Yes, it is termed as what? Temperature on Kelvin scale. Yes, second one. Temperature on Celsius scale. Temperature on Celsius scale. Temperature on Celsius scale. Yes, it is equal to temperature on Kelvin scale. Temperature on Kelvin scale minus 273 Kelvin. This is the formula. temperature on Celsius scale is found out. It is equal to temperature on Kelvin scale minus 273 Kelvin. Yes, third one, temperature on Fahrenheit scale. Yes, my dear students, it is calculated with the help of water. Celsius and Fahrenheit temperature are related to each other by the relation. It means divided by. Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 is equal to plus 32. Okay, afterwards in an example we will also discuss it. Take an example first. Convert the temperature of 200 degrees Celsius to the Kelvin scale. Take an example. Take an example. Convert the temperature of 200 degrees Celsius to the Kelvin scale. Yes, my dear students, what is the formula here? Yes, it is equal to temperature of Celsius scale plus 273 Kelvin. Yes, what is given there? 200 degree Celsius plus 273 Kelvin. It is equal to 473 Kelvin. Yes, answer is 473 Kelvin. Yes, my dear students. Next discussion point is latent heat. Yes, latent heat. Latent heat means what? It means that a hidden heat is termed as latent heat. Hidden heat is termed as what? Latent heat. Observe here. When a heat is given to a substance, its temperature increases. However, when heat is applied to change the physical states of a substance, there is no increase in temperature of a substance. Thus, the heat energy which has to be supplied to change the state of substance is called its latent heat. What the main definition is? The heat energy which has to be supplied, the heat energy which has to be supplied the change of state of matter, is called latent heat. Yes, latent heat. Yes, students, what happened? Here heat energy or increased temperature is necessary. Why? Because interchange of different states of a matter. Yes, here according to definition of latent heat, the heat energy which has to be supplied, the change of state of matter is called latent heat, or another word is termed as what? Hidden heat or hidden energy. Yes, in which first one is latent heat of fusion. First one is latent heat of fusion. Yes, what is meant by latent heat of fusion? The amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure and at its melting point is known as latent heat of fusion. Yes, my dear students, here what happened? Interconversion of solid into liquid takes place with the help of heat energy. Yes, latent latent heat, latent heat of fusion or latent heat latent heat of fusion. The heat energy required change solid into liquid at an atmospheric pressure, and at its melting point is called latent heat of fusion. Yes, my students, observe very carefully. What is the definition of latent heat of fusion? The heat energy required to change the solid state into liquid at an atmospheric pressure and at its melting point is called latent heat of fusion. Okay, whatever it, solid at 1 kg. Solid at 1 kg directly converted into liquid state when we provide heat energy to it. That is termed as the latent heat of fusion. Yes, next one is latent heat of vaporization. Yes, here latent heat of fusion means conversion of solid to liquid. Reminded? Yes, what is meant by latent heat of fusion? Here conversion of solid to liquid is takes place. That is termed as a latent heat of fusion. Yes, next one, latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization. Yes, what will be happen here? Yes, my dear students, change of states into, it means liquid into gas. That is termed as the latent heat of vaporization. Yes. What is the definition given here? The amount of heat energy that is required to convert 1 kg of liquid into gas without any rise in temperature is known as without any rise in temperature. Yes, my dear students, the amount of heat energy required to change liquid into gas without rise in temperature. Without rise in temperature is called latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization. Yes, my students, observe very carefully the definition of latent heat of vaporization. Yes, it means here what happened? The liquid state is converted into gaseous state. Liquid state is converted into gaseous state. It means the amount of heat energy required to change liquid into gas without rising temperature is what? Latent heat of vaporization. Next, effects of change of pressure. The physical state of a substance can also be changed by changing the pressure. An increase in pressure brings the particle closer and increase the force of attraction between them. Yes, my dear students, what will be happen? effects of pressure. Yes, we apply a more external force in any object. What happen? The particles are closed. The particles are closed. It means a force of attraction is increased. Why? Because of increased pressure. Because of increased pressure. Yes, my dear students. In today's class, we all are discussed about how the effect of change of temperature takes place. It means interconversion of states of matter. It means solid state to liquid state to gaseous state. Okay, take an example: ice to water. After increased temperature, it means heat energy is provided. At that time, particles start get vibrated and converted into vapor state. Afterwards, the process of cooling converted into gas. Process of cooling converted into liquid state. The process of condensation converted as a solid state of matter. And afterwards, we discussed scales of basic temperature. It means Kelvin scale of temperature, Celsius scale of temperature, Fahrenheit scale of temperature, and with respective examples. Finally, what is latent heat? Latent heat is termed as what? The hidden heat. There are two types of latent heats. One is latent heat of fusion. Latent heat of fusion is nothing but what? Conversion of solid into gas with increased pressure at its melting point is known as latent heat of fusion. And latent heat of evaporation, it means conversion of liquid into gaseous state. It means without increasing any temperature. That is termed as a vaporization. Finally, effect of change of pressure. Yes, it means when pressure is exerted in any object, what happens? The particles are comes to closer. Why? Because of force of attraction is increased. Yes, thank you. 1 second.